Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Oliver Ibbetson. I have the privilege of being Denzel Brown's grandson and the youngest member of this Rotary Club. I think I still hold that record, but
Sure you do.
It may have moved on. Now, I thought I'd speak today very briefly for 5 minutes about Asia, as next month I celebrate 10 years working for the working in the Asia-New Zealand Leadership Network for 10 years now. So that for me is a big part of my life. And so I thought I'd ask some questions, and if you get it right, then you don't have to pay. If you get it wrong, then you have to pay double. So the first question we've got today, ladies and gentlemen, is Lee Kuan Yew died March 2015. He was the Prime Minister of Singapore for how many years? Anyone for A, 12 years? B, C, 31 years, or D, 43? He was indeed Prime Minister for 31 years, which is a pretty long time, certainly in our political history. Fiery Cross Reef gained international attention the year before, for what reason? A, it was destroyed by fishermen using dynamite. B, it was dramatically emerged out of South China Sea through a volcanic eruption. C, Chinese cruise ship the Eastern Star struck the reef. Or D, China built a 3-kilometre landing strip on the reef. D, I hear D. If you didn't get D, please pay up. That's 3,125 metre landing strip. According to the World Health Organization in 2015, which city has the worst air pollution? Is it A, Beijing, China? B, Patna in India? C, Delhi in India? Or D, Pakistan? A. Well, let me surprise you, ladies and gentlemen, because Beijing doesn't even make the top 10. The city with the worst is in fact Delhi, and India makes up 6 of the 10 worst for air pollution. And if you didn't get that, which by the sounds of it we didn't get a whole lot of that, please pay up. Chinese scientist Tu Youyou won a Nobel Prize in 2015 for her work in the 1960s, 70s. And what was she researching? Was it malaria, the giant panda, black holes, or fertilizer? The giant panda. I hear the giant panda out here. Tu Youyou led a team of scientists to find the cure for malaria. In November 2015, another one, Nobel Peace Prize laureate Aung San Suu Kyi was elected to the office of Prime Minister in Myanmar. In what year was she awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? 91? 98, 2005 or 2014? Aung San Suu Kyi was given the Nobel Peace Prize in 1991. Although they might be rethinking that. The TPP has been hotly debated, particularly this year as we live and work in politics and the trade. Which of the following countries is not part of the trade agreement? I hope most of us know this. A, Singapore. B, Malaysia. C, China. Or D, Vietnam. America. I hear America down here. And indeed, the correct answer is China. It was a trade bloc in order to try and stymie Chinese influence in global trade. And now, what movie became the highest grossing movie of all time in China in 2015? Was it A, Monster Hunt? B, Fast and the Furious? C, From Vegas to Macau? Or D, Lost in Hong Kong? Call out some answers. I hear Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious was very high. However, Monster Hunt surpassed it as the animated Pixar, I think, classic. And some of you should know the answer to this. What was the final score in the Rugby World Cup game between Japan and South Africa? Japan 28, South Africa 20. Japan 15, South Africa 13. Japan 34, South Africa 32.
Yes.
Or Japan 48 and South Africa 40. See? 34, 32. And if you didn't get that right, or even if you did, it's about time to pay up and make sure that we're looking after that Sunshine Fund. Now, China ended its one-child policy in October last year, rather. How many years had it been in place? A, 45, B, 35, C, 25, or D, 15? 35 years. And now there is a too few females to male ratio in China as a result of it. And I think we're getting to the penultimate question here, so I hope you've emptied your pockets. Final question is, Indonesia's drug agency has recently backed a plan to use what to guard death row convicts? Other prisoners? Anyone for that? No? Monkeys? Crocodiles? Or robots? Robots. I hear robots. It was crocodiles. Ladies and gentlemen, please give generously to the Sunshine Appeal. I think we're going to...
Hey Oliver, how old are you?
28.
Oh, you beat me. I was the youngest member of Rotary in 1973 at 33. So you've beaten me by a few years. I think I can read this, but I need the specs. Need the right specs. Thanks, Peter. I did refer briefly to Karatani Product Society when I was introducing Amanda the other day. They seem to have a bit of a problem with their executive salaries at the moment, and I'm not going to talk about that. I have two reasons for my talk today. The first is to bring you up to date with KPS. Rotary helped many years ago. I try and bring you up to date every couple of years because it really has been a success story. In the early days of Plunket, the founder, Truby King, started a manufacturing business, Karatani Product Society, to produce baby food. This was well before Watties and Heinz. Rotary helped it financially, otherwise I think it would have probably gone under. I don't know the exact details, until Truby King ended production. KPS, as is now known, kept the trademarks Karatani and Karicare. The names continued under different manufacturers, including Douglas Pharmaceuticals, and finally a Dutch multinational Nutritia. These companies paid KPS a royalty. We sold the trademarks for approximately 16 million a few years ago, from originally a very low royalty base. By conservative, it's a charity, remember, no tax, investing this fund reached 25 million. We gave 5 million to Plunket to set up a foundation to create funding outside government. We had to prod them along from a slow start. We wanted to, almost at one stage, thought we'd take the 5 million back. But however, it is now gathering momentum under Sir Eon Edgar, Graham Henry, and a few other well-known personalities. For example, they raised $500,000 last year from a charity lunch. The Aucklanders apparently got more money than us. However, annually, KPS gives approximately $800,000 to Plunket activities, mainly to assist in start-up activities like Plunket Line for mothers to call in emergencies or help. Plunket Plus, which has computerised babies' medical records, both for assistance to mothers and research purposes. It has replaced the old Plunkett books and manila folders, which some of you may remember from old. KBS funded at $100,000 a year for 5 years research at Otago University into infant obesity, which is pretty topical at the moment, and is currently funding the same amount into a 5-year research program at Auckland University for infant immunity to early childhood diseases, because a lot of the immunisation processes aren't working so well today. I'm giving this report because all this probably wouldn't have happened without Rotary assistance in those early days. Another organisation we were involved with and helped financially it was Bernardo's, and I'm sorry we've lost contact with Bernardo's because I haven't found out where it is. A fellow who ran Golden Bay Cement, I've forgotten his surname, took over from me. I'm just a bit sorry we didn't continue that association, because we can contribute a wee bit commercially with these organisations, particularly the volunteer ones. Now, the last part of the talk, I belonged to Rotary for 45 years. In 1973, we met at the Majestic Cabaret in Willis Street, sang God Save the Queen, an all-male membership, and suits and ties. Things have changed slightly. I've had enormous pleasure from my association, made many friends, and have had the privilege of being president, a Paul Harris recipient, and the most difficult job of all, having sergeant for 12 months in those past days. Rotary is without exception the best service organisation in the world. Its emphasis on service above self, fellowship, youth development, international understanding, and its forward-thinking organisational processes. Regretfully, I am retiring, not resigning, because you don't really resign from Rotary. It's always part of you. Now, Polly, stand up. This is my wife, because when you have your presidential year, your wife has to put up with quite a few, I'll call them idiosyncrasies, but they're very supportive, I can tell you, because it's quite a busy year, so I'm sure Peter will know. Is that right, Polly? Yeah. Polly and I have farming interests in Marlborough and the Hawke's Bay, family in Auckland and overseas. It is for this reason regular attendance has been increasingly difficult over recent times. I want to acknowledge the enormous pleasure I've had from Rotary over the years. It's quite special. Thank you all.
Hedge, you can see why I said it wasn't all good news that Robert was saying. It's always very sad when a member that has contributed for 45 years feels it's time to move away. And on reflection, we couldn't let Robert move away. We decided with 45 years of contribution to this club in all those different roles and for the work that he's done outside the club, if there's ever a reason for somebody to be awarded an honorary membership of a club, he's certainly met that criteria many times over and deserves to be recognised in that way. So, Robert, this honorary membership means you can attend any Rotary Club on any of your travels at any time. You can come and go from this club when time permits as a normal full member without needing to worry about the gaps between.
Do I have to pay?
You don't. You may still have to pay for your lunch. But it would be a pleasure to see you at any occasion, at any time. We would love to see you, and we wish you all the very best in those retired years, wherever they take you and whatever they're doing.
Thank you very much, Peter. That's a wonderful... wonderful gesture.
Hi. Firstly, can I bring greetings from President Mike and the members of Rotary Rounds Bay. For the uninitiated, it's North Shore of Auckland. We've been lucky to be more involved with your club, because for the last 3 years we have actually run our own jumbo tennis tournament. And today, one of the purposes today was to actually bring the rackets back. I say you loan them, we actually pay you money for them, so don't ask for any more. So yeah, it's been very good. This is our third year, our best year. Hopefully we'll be something approaching $10,000 profit this year, which is great. We're a small club, but we have some hard workers, and luckily that saw us through. It's very good, thanks to Helen and William Somerville mainly, that we got the idea and all their help along the way, and we really have enjoyed our time. As I say,